Alex from Dragon Ball Super.
This is Paul St.
Super, and you're watching
Brian Awesome. There's a reason we call him Brian Awesome. It's because he's awesome, Brian.
Important distinction, because some people will avoid checking out a show or a movie or a game because the fandom turns them off to it. Have you guys ever? Have you guys ever said, you know, I would watch that or I would play that or I would check it out if only not for the obnoxious fans? Okay, throw some hands up and let's see some examples of things you've avoided. Okay, let's go over here. Voltron. Wow, okay. New or old? New. Oh, the new one's so good, too. Okay, yes?
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man. Okay, let's go right here. Undertale, which is now available on consoles, yes.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. How about that Szechuan sauce?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We're actually new to the Rick and Morty fandom.
Yeah.
Our roommate has loved it since the beginning, so he showed us some, and there's just not enough hours in the day to sit there and just... Has there been ever anything in fandom that would make you either jump through hoops or go seek it out?
No.
No? Okay.
I stumble onto things.
Like last night we were in Walmart and I saw like pajamas, I guess, right?
Yeah, with Elf, because I love that Christmas movie, Elf.
Yeah,
and he's
Will
like,
Ferrell.
oh, do you want those? I'm like, no. He has to have the shirt and the poster and any of the little toys and everything. And I'm just like, I can just appreciate it and leave it where it is. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I'm the one who has to dust it, so, you know, that's my logic.
So my collection of Pop Funko figures is very, very small.
Yes. Now, when we get a case, because I told him I'm fine with him having everything he wants if we have the, you know, the big glass cases with the lights on top. So it's inside, so it doesn't get as dusty. I'm great with that, yeah.
Then you can't play with them.
Well, he can get them out. The
Sure.
door's open.
Well, how do you play with Pop Funko? You just bing and watch the head bobble. I mean, that's about it, right? I mean, that's pretty much it.
When there's an earthquake, they can move.
Yeah. Okay, I saw some other hands up about things that toxicity in fandom makes you avoid that show or movie. Go ahead, yeah? Hatalia. I remember that too, yeah. I tried out for that. Didn't get anything on there. And I'm not sure that's a bad thing or not. Okay, yeah.
Death Note for the longest time.
Death Note. Okay, the Netflix one or...
Oh, fuck Netflix.
How do you feel, Captain? You know what? Here, controversial opinion time. We liked Death Note on Netflix until the end, right?
Right.
The ending totally fell apart. But I understand the plight of studios wanting to Americanize something and to make it palpable for mainstream America. Remember, mainstream people don't watch anime, they don't read manga, they don't read subtitles. They want to, I mean, they're generally, and it's not saying they're racist, but they're generally not going to be drawn to something that is, you know, set in Japan with an all-Asian cast and all that, and the other. So I understand if your whole target audience is North American, you know...
Superman or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have to think about, okay, let's change the setting. Okay, yeah, it disrupts the purity of the original project, in which... I would say, yeah, they might as well not do it. But I understand why they would want to do that.
Yeah.
You're a creator, right? So if you had your chance to make your historical fiction novel set in Ireland, but if say a Japanese studio wanted to adapt it, would you turn your nose up at that? Because if they wanted to do an all-Asian cast set of movie, you'd be down with it?
Yeah.
And you know there'd be fervor within the fandom saying, hey, isn't that show supposed to be all...
Yeah, but I would know that there's certain fans that are going to like the original, and there's going to be certain fans that like the new version, and either way, my work is getting out there to people. So I'm okay with that.
So, yeah, FMA is not set in Asia at all, and yet it's made with an all-Asian cast. What? Is anyone throwing up in arms about that stuff? Nope. Silence. Crickets. Okay, what other things? Go ahead. The DC Universe?
Steven.
Oh, Steven Universe. Yeah, yes. Controversial. I haven't even seen that show. And I know it's huge. I didn't know there was controversy within that. Okay, go ahead. Right next to you. Yes. Cuphead? Cuphead has controversy? Why? What? What are the fans like? Oh man, I'm the best.
Too difficult.
I mean, you're going to find that everywhere. You're going to find obnoxious smack-talking 12-year-olds on Xbox Live, regardless. Doesn't matter what the game is. Toxicity in fandoms, man, yeah. Or, got anyone, the League of Legends fandom, right?
Teen Titans Go!
Teen Titans Go? Because everyone wants Teen Titans back, right? I want Teen Titans back. I bet if you asked the voice cast, they would want the original back. But you can't fault them. Don't be treating them like crap because you don't like Teen Titans Go. It's like, hey, you're an actor? You're going to take the gig. In general.
To be honest, I would like the entire Bruce Timm DC AU and the 90s Marvel AU to come back.
Oh, yeah, the old days, the good old days. Classic Batman, the animated series. That's still the best, in my opinion. They keep rebooting it and keep trying new things, which I understand, but, like, let's go back to old Kevin Conroy Batman.
Yes!
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Toxic fandom. Okay, yes?
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. I have heard about that. Yes, yes, okay. Yeah, I saw your head earlier, yeah.
Sonic fandom.
Sonic. That poor hedgehog.
In our community, it's like
You just talking about the animated ones or the video games?
all of DeviantArt, all of it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh. Crazy. What else we got?
Supernatural.
Supernatural.
I love that show.
You do love that show. See, she's trying to get me to watch it. It's like, it's such a dude show. And I go, no, it's a chick show. Everyone's pretty and perfect. And
No, it's about brothers.
It's like Sailor Moon.
I love it.
I see so many pictures of them together.
Yeah.
yeah, see, the fandoms will ship anything, right? It's like, their brothers don't care. They need to be together forever. Like, what?
Course of me.
How about shipping, huh? I first heard that term, I thought it was like FedEx overnight, UPS. What?
Took us a while to figure that one out.
Baby, do you ship anyone in TVs, movies, games, or I mean?
Outlander.
Outlander? Yeah, she got me into Outlander.
He just was in the room when it was on. And eventually I see him sitting down by me.
Well, I mean, they had me at the composer, Bear McCreary, because like he did Battlestar Galactica and Walking Dead and 10 Cloverfield Lane and all the great composer. And I'm listening, it's like, wow, this guy's so diverse. He makes authentic sounding Scottish music too, and then a little bit of everything. Like, wow, this show's good. I try to convert her to things too. Firefly's on the list. It'll happen. It's like, oh, I like Nathan Fillion. It's like, oh, good, you're in for a treat. Oh, I like Alan Tudyk. Oh, you're really in for a treat. Okay, yes. Other toxic fandoms you've avoided? Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I'm worried that show has just lost its steam altogether anyway, right? I mean, it's like, after season 2. A lot of people jump ship on season 2. It's like, we're on a
Is that
farm.
when Lori got pregnant?
No, they're on the farm for a whole season. It's slowed to a crawl.
I stopped watching when Lori got pregnant because I wanted that baby to turn into a zombie and crawl its way out of her stomach, and it didn't. I was bummed.
Social justice warrior right here. It's like, oh yeah, you must run with Shane instead of...
Have they ever explained what caused the zombies and stuff to come about in that universe?
They have hinted on the TV show that, the Centers for Disease Control were of knowledge of a military sort of thing.
So kind of like the Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil.
Yeah. But they've never totally addressed it, and I think that's not really the point. I mean, it's interesting to theorize. I think it's more interesting to theorize on things instead of having it spoon-fed you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more interesting because the background, we actually really enjoy Fear the Walking Dead because that started in our town, in Los Angeles.
Doesn't the son look like a young Johnny Depp?
Like, alarmingly so.
It's so weird.
I think he is a kid he's not aware of.
I know, I think so too.
I think Johnny Depp That was supposed to be Captain Jack. It ended up sounding like a drunk Beatle. Hello, the Beatles. We're not the monkeys. Some people say they monkey around. Everything sounds like a question. Okay, other toxic fandoms, yes. Naruto. Still? Even though the show is over? Now they're on to Boruto, the sun. So. It's gotten worse? Oh my god.
Naruto versus Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are the Dragon Ball fans okay? Or are people, I don't know, I found some pretty toxic ones when I first announced as Gohan. I went on to Planet Namek, remember that fan site?
That was a problem.
Boy, I started reading the reviews of the English dub of the Saiyaman saga, and I was like, Gohan sounds disturbing. I'm like, he sounds old, he sounds creepy. I'm like, wow. You guys just...
The Japanese Goku, which sounds like a little boy as an adult.
Well, it's actually a very, very almost elderly woman, actually. Masako Nozawa. A very legendary voice there of Goku, Gohan, Goten. And I know our culture wouldn't accept a woman voicing a buff dude, you know.
But the thing I don't like the most about a lot of fandoms in Dragon Ball is that we can't just enjoy the series without, oh, this isn't canon, that's canon, this isn't canon, and all that stuff.
Yeah, you'll find that in Star Wars. That's something I'm a huge fan of. And you see, the arguments just a flying. Jar Jar Binks is behind the Empire. What? There is a fascinating 10-minute video on why Jar Jar Binks is actually a genius manipulator. It's fascinating. I'm not sold that it's true, but it is fascinating that someone, A, had enough time in their day or week or year to figure this out, and B, go viral, and suddenly it's a huge video. What now?
It's not Wikipedia, so it's not canon.
Wikipedia? That's a real thing? That's cute. Wikipedia. Okay. Can you? We just sound like we're rolling our R's, like we're trying to be Hispanic or something.
I did that one night. I said, this is me trying to be Hispanic, and I go, and he goes, you sound like Chewbacca, and I said, I do not. He pulls his phone out and starts going through all of the voice sounds he has from Star Wars.
The Star Wars app has sounds on there from different characters.
To find it.
Yeah,
okay,
right there.
okay, you're right.
Yeah. You didn't think you could imitate anybody.
No, what did I call those? I don't remember them. The walk thingies. No, not Ewoks. The big. Maybe those.
R2D2?
I don't know. I don't remember. I called it the wrong thing though, and he's like, you're gonna have to forfeit your nerd card or something. I'm like, I don't have one yet. I'm in training.
She is. She's a geek in training.
Takes time.
We're trying. It's working.
We're getting there.
Progress. Yeah, I know. She comes to the cons. She's with me to watch every Marvel movie, every Star Wars movie.
I did all that with my son though. He loved all that. Somehow I raised two, I guess, nerds.
Yeah.
And you raised a non-nerd.
Yeah. But I'm nerdy, and I'm way nerdier than my daughter.
So our kids relate to each of us.
Yeah. How'd that happen?
It's how rebellious works.
That's right.
It's how being rebellious works.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah, just think about this, guys. Your kids and grandkids are going to look at you like, you played video games? How lame.
They'll be reading books.
What?
Our 3 kids are already geeks.
Well, that's good.
This is the first con they haven't come to with us.
Oh, yeah, it's like, that's rebellion right there.
No,
Like,
because this is our date weekend.
oh, date weekend.
Oh,
Yes.
15 years, so our turn.
Okay.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, I'm seeing more hands. Let's go to the green shirt. The Flash. More toxic fandoms, huh? Wow. Now, what's the point of contention? That's like, oh, they changed this from the comic book? Because, yeah, that's everything.
It's more just the idea of it in general. I'm a physics major, and
Oh.
think it can run faster than light.
Oh.
I think the contention is the show sucks and the fans insist it doesn't. That's my contention.
It's okay. Everyone's a critic, and you're allowed to be. You can have an opinion, even if it's wrong. I mean, different. Okay. Is that a Hawaiian shirt back there? Yes.
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers? Well, yeah, with all those iterations, yeah, you're going to find strife among someone like, no, Dino Thunder's the best.
But I think we can all agree that Jason is a better and more strategic leader than Tommy.
Yes.
Even before he became the White Ranger.
Tommy was a real life martial artist.
But Jason never almost single-handedly killed the rest of his teammates at the beginning of season 3.
All right, that happened.
That's just a chance we just got to take.
Okay, right here.
It's not so much a particular show.
Okay.
But the dub versus sub groups.
Oh, why is that still a thing?
Touchy subject.
When DVDs came out in 1997, when a lot of you probably were either born or just preschoolers, that should have ended it. It's like, just pick the language you want to watch it and shut up.
You like one or the other?
You like one or the other, because I guarantee you the creators of that show don't care what way you watch it. They're just happy you're watching it and you bought their product so they can make more. They're making a living. Yay, because
money.
Face it, anime is a business, even though it's a beautiful art form and that's wonderful and it's creative expression and everything. At the end, you got to make money to make a living and of course to make more of it. So please support anime with your official purchases or subscriptions to Crunchyroll and Funimation and Viz and all that stuff. Buy official merch in the exhibit hall. Don't buy bootlegs. Don't pay a subscription service to a fan site to pay the servers to stream it illegally. That's bad. It's like, no, well, it's not available yet. It's like, patience, young grasshopper, patience. Not everything comes out here, but it will. If it's big enough and has a huge fandom, then it'll come out. And then nowadays you have the simuldubs with Funimation. You're getting stuff day and date with Japan, so it's like, okay, you can't complain now. Like,
Super.
Coming out fast enough. What about Super? What's wrong with Super?
No, I was just saying that's an example of things coming out in Japan, then right after it's available in America.
Yeah, like we wish we could do day and date with Super, but that's Toei's baby, so they make the call. It's like, all right, well, the longer that it takes to translate into English, you know people are going to fans okay. But I think Japan understands the internet. They're afraid of it, and we're all afraid of it too, because it's like, if you're a creator of anything, you put it out there, it's going to get. Your book was how many pirated by how much?
Over 6,000.
Over 6,000 downloads of your book.
Got a lot of great reviews on that.
How about that? Free marketing.
Right, but yeah.
Yeah, so if you're an author and you put your book out there, even through official channels, like we put her book up on Amazon, and people still manage to pirate it. That's not good. Yeah. Okay, back in the room with yes. Yuri on Ice. Another anime with the fandom. What's the controversy there, though? What's... There what? Oh wow, it's so bad she has to like hide under her purse. What? When you have an anime based on a sport, right, and you think, okay, there's how many sports left are there that aren't represented by anime yet?
Basketball, I think.
Is there one based on like sawing logs or?
Not yet.
Curling.
Let's see, martial arts, soccer,
basketball,
tennis, swimming, baseball,
boxing.
wrestling.
Oh yeah, and Mucha Lucha, I think.
It's not anime.
in traditional sense.
Oh yeah, Kids WB.
Okay.
My bad.
Go ahead, Gur. Sorry. Wrestling?
Yeah.
Ultimate Muscle.
Ultimate Muscle. That's hilarious. If you can find like an old DVD of it, they're out there. It's really funny.
There's one also on women's wrestling.
It's so silly.
Oh God, I think I know what you're talking about.
Craziness. Okay, yeah.
This is actually a question rolling off of like canon versus non-canon.
Yes.
And Super. Okay, out of the two sequels to Dragon Ball Z, which one do you prefer the most? GT or Super?
Super. Because Gohan is going somewhere, finally.
Yes!
We haven't dubbed that yet, but I know that because it's out there officially in Japanese,
Gohan redeemed his honor like Zuko.
On, what, Crunchyroll? Yeah. Good things are happening to Gohan finally. I'm so happy.
Cause on that note, I hated when Sen Shenron had beat the crap out of him, and then he was like, "You Super Saiyans aren't that super." I'm like, come on, man.
What is up with that? Okay, back in the room. Okay.
I went to college for chemistry, and anytime I ever told somebody that, they're like, "Oh my God, have you watched Breaking Bad?" Like, no.
Well, it should be. It's a fantastic show. We're not even finished with it yet. We're on the second to last season. That's funny. Yeah, gee. I study chemistry. Have you seen Breaking Bad? Wow. Okay, yes. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, yes, that has multiple shows. Yeah, but so many JoJo references are actual, like, hairband medals from the 80s. If people always think the manga is better, then why do they ever bother watching anime? Why don't they just stick to reading manga?
Maybe sometimes they feel lazy.
I definitely feel lazy. I don't like reading. I'm married to an author. I don't read. And she doesn't watch anime, so it works out, I guess.
Pokemon.
What about the Pokemans?
Because some people prefer the early seasons, and some people think Ash should retire, or he was a jerk for treating Misty like crap at the end of Master Quest and all that.
Oh my gosh! See, we go much simpler. Pokemon Go. Can we get a Pokemon here? Yay! Hey, it's a Pokestop. Yay! We're both like right there, which is awesome.
Pokemon Go.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, I have two things.
Okay.
Prison school.
Prison school?
Yeah.
Are those two words that go together?
Yeah.
That's a show?
Yes, that is
Okay.
a terrible show.
Terrible
I
show.
watched 2 episodes and that's it. And the other thing is a concept. Is
Arm
it
hurts.
anime or is it not because it's not from Japan? Oh, God.
Okay, anime, the term does mean that it is the original property comes from Japan. Of course, most anime is animated in Korea.
But the fact that you have all this stuff that is on Funimation that
Mhm.
may not be from Japan,
Yeah.
and because it is all classed together, and you're told you're not a fan of anime because you like, say, Ruby.
Okay. Which is American, but the style is, just like Batman the Animated Series is very anime influenced. Avatar The Last Airbender. It's a cartoon, but it looks like anime. Voltron, the new one, is from the same animation studio that did Avatar, so people think, oh, that's anime. Like, no.
Thundercats.
Thundercats, even,
We
yeah.
had a conversation about Avatar last night.
We did.
We were coming into the building and he made some reference to...
It was a different Avatar, though.
To Pandora. And I go, the music station?
No, because you're walking in the hallways and you see these big...
Yeah, the pine, or the what are those called? Palm trees. And
But they have
"Those
glowy
look like
lights on them."
Yeah, I said, those look like they belong in California. And he goes, or Pandora. And I'm like, the music station?
You go,
And
no,
he goes,
the planet.
He goes, Avatar. And I'm like, what about them? And he's like, no, Pandora from Avatar. I'm like, what is that? What avatars are on the music station? I don't understand. He's like, the movie Avatar with the big blue. And I go, oh, the weird blue people things. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, the planet they lived on was Pandora. And I'm like, oh, that took way too much.
Yeah. And a third, and a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth.
You're always having to explain things to me now.
See, James Cameron, you can hate him and love him because he made the most coolest use of 3D. It was so immersive and awesome. The bad news is we're now stuck with 3D movies that no one asked for.
Yeah.
Because now they can make an extra $10 on the movie ticket. It's like, oh yeah? Well, you want to see it in IMAX? Well, it's in 3D too, so that's another $5. And yay! Granted, the 3D does look better now. They're converting movies that are shot in 2D into 3D, and they do look really good, for the most part.
Money.
But it's about money. The almighty dollar. Crazy. Yes?
I just wanted to add to the Dragon Ball fan base and
Yes?
kind of add to something other people said. For the longest time, there's not only the dub sub thing, but there was also the nostalgia factor, the Z versus Kai thing. Like, because with the Z dub, there were a lot more liberties taken, whereas with the Kai dub, it was a lot more accurate. And like, I think really that like the Z dub offended a lot of Japanese fans, and the Kai dub, a lot of old dub fans didn't like. So really, I think it's just like what you're used to and like what you want. Personally, I appreciate both, but I'm more of a Kai person.
Yeah, like, in general, when you say, like, oh, this is ruining my childhood, the version that you saw in your childhood is generally still available, so it's not ruined. You can still access it and watch it all you want and pretend the new one doesn't exist. Like, the controversy of the Ghostbusters reboot last year, the year before. It's like, people were, like, jerks about that. It's like, guys, the original Ghostbusters is still there. You'll always have that. Yeah.
How Brandon died, they decided to reboot it. So we're all amped up for the sequel, and all of a sudden they hit us with this reboot, and we're all screaming, blue, bloody, murder, and I still want to buy every DVD copy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they did get the cast, about like 10 years ago or so to do the video game, Ghostbusters. You had Bill Murray, you had everybody.
Which is not good either.
And, but I don't know, for better or worse. I mean, if you're not going to make a game or not make a movie, well, nowadays you have CG and you have motion capture and stuff that can make people look younger and they can still play the roles, for better or worse.
I miss Stephanie Mahoney.
Yeah, Iron Man. It's like you see a younger Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War. Most recently, Blade Runner, if you saw it, 2049. Probably about 10 people probably saw Blade Runner, which is an awesome movie and is probably not going to be regarded as such until years from now, just like the original was. But yeah, there was a character in that movie that totally like, oh my God, they got that person. But they look like they did in 1981. No, it's getting better. That uncanny valley thing with the way they do CG, it's getting better. It's not perfect yet. Like, Rogue One, Tarkin. He looks pretty good when there's shadows. But if he's just perfectly lit, then it's like, that's CG.
Well, there's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 with
Kurt Russell, yeah, and Guardians too. It's like, that looks pretty good. It's also a little creepy. It looks pretty good. Had they done it 10 years ago, it wouldn't look as good. They've come a long way.
Yeah, compared to the Tron movie with
Tron, yeah, with Jeff Bridges. Ooh, Legacy. And I love Tron. I love Tron Legacy. But yeah, so it's like, that's obviously a video game character. I mean, I guess they could get away with that because it is set in a video game world. But it's like, I think they're trying to pass this off as, that's really him. Okay. Not sure I buy that. Okay, yes.
I was going to ask, did you see the anime they did for it, the Blade Runner?
Oh yeah, the creator of Cowboy Bebop did that. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. It was nice. I think that movie deserves a much better fate. And I think that was wise to go ahead and do an anime story set within that to help bring in people. Because again, Blade Runner from 1981, 82 is like, that's an old movie.
They really didn't make money when it came out.
That one didn't either. Yeah, it came out and, because it's a very slow-paced, noir, detective story, and people want their fast cuts and Michael Bay this and the, that and the other. And, well, Fury Road, yes. Mad Max. Oh my God, I love Fury Road. Scared you off though the first time, right?
No.
Because you were just confused.
I was so confused. Okay, so I'm sitting there during the movie, and I lean over and I'm like, why is everybody dirty? And he's like, post-apocalypse. Why is that man keeping all the water? He's the bad guy. Why is Bane in this movie?
Poor Tom Hardy, man. He can't get a break.
He can't.
It's like, got this great expressive face. Let's cover it.
Well, they explained it though.
Yeah, well, yeah, the director of Dunkirk, which you most recently see Tom Hardy in, covered again.
Yep.
It's like, no, his eyes are so expressive. He's great at that. So I want to just hone in on the eyes. It's like, okay, but Bane, that's just funny.
I miss Christian Bale.
You miss Christian Bale?
As Batman.
Well, I mean, even that was to the point of parody.
But the story building in Robin and Talia and stuff, I wish they were in the cinematic universe with Batfleck being like the Thomas Wayne version in a Flashpoint time.
I actually like Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he's good.
Regular Batman.
Yeah, I mean, I thought people were unfairly judging, just like they unfairly judged Heath Ledger. It's like, no, Jack Nicholson is the Joker. You could never take that. And then he came out and blew everyone away. It's like, now Heath Ledger's the Joker, and everyone hates Jared Leto for like, no, you're not Joker. Heath Ledger's the Joker.
Mark Hamill.
And then other people were like, yes, let's stick to the animated version. And then if you're really old school, Cesar Romero from the Batman of our childhood, TV with Adam West, rest in peace. Mark Hamill. Exactly. Hope to meet that guy one day, my God. All my compadres, not all of them, but a lot of my coworkers and colleagues and friends in the business I got to meet Mark Hamill. It's like, dude, I want to meet Mark Hamill. I want to meet Luke Skywalker and the Joker. One day. What?
I was quoting Bane, that comes later.
That comes later. That's true. Hey, I want to hear your Bane impression because it cracks me up. No?
Come on, do it for us.
If you want to do it, you can hide your face. Tom Hardy does.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is, but it's awesome.
He videotaped me and put it online.
I know. Because it's like, oh, you have to do that again. You gonna do it?
Do it.
It's ridiculous. He also videotaped me doing Hadouken, and he kept yelling at me. He goes, "That's wrong."
Show him how you did the Hadouken pose.
I don't remember now.
You did it like this or something.
Wrong, you know, and he's like, "That's wrong, try again." So I try some other weird things, like, "That's wrong, try again." He's like, "That's better." He's got that online somewhere.
Hoboken.
I think the first time you said it, you're like, Hoboken. It's like, no, that's a city in New Jersey. That's where Ryu's from, Hoboken. You know.
There's a reason he's the voice actor and I'm the writer.
Aww. Okay. Yes.
Okay. One, Fantastic Four.
Ooh. I did not. I saw like I saw Rise of the Silver Surfer one, the second one.
Especially when they emasculated Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was not okay. And two, I have a question, voice acting wise. Were you in the studio when the voice actor for Vegeta did the My Bulma thing?
No, I was not. See, when we record anime, it's one actor at a time.
Gotcha.
But that was a great My Bulma. You know, that was awesome.
He should have went Super Saiyan 3.
But a moment that I love even better than My Bulma is when Sean, like, there's a tractor, like, my tractor! Something in Super. But anyway, you really like the new Fantastic Four.
I do.
The one that people didn't ask for a couple years ago.
I thought it was very creative. The acting was really good.
But that was your first exposure to those characters, right? You had not seen the original?
I saw the original.
Oh, okay, so you knew.
That too.
You like that too? Okay, all right. Would you be for like Disney/Marvel getting those characters back and putting them in that cinematic universe?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, my son was the one who showed me this newest one, and he said, "Now, before we watch this, I want you to clear your mind of the first one and see this as its own little entity," and that's why I was able to enjoy it.
Yeah, we did that. He had to explain a lot to you about Batman versus Superman too.
He did, because he's like, "Have you finished watching that?" And I was like, "I made it halfway through, and it was just too confusing." So he started explaining, because he loves the comic books, and he starts explaining what happened to Robin, why Batman is so angry, what is going on in this situation? And then I went back and watched it again, and I loved it. So I did that with Kyle, explained it all to him, and then he watched it. And what did you think?
I thought it was a pretty good movie. I mean, I watched the director's cut. I did not watch what came out in theaters and everyone said was terrible.
Yeah.
I said, once it came on video, I said, the extended cut, people said, okay, it's a little better. It smooths things out. It's like, all right, I'm going to watch that first.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back and watch the other thing because that looks like a total mess. And even that one with the director's cut, supposedly, is just not that great either. But I enjoyed it because my expectations were so low that it's like, guys, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. And then Wonder Woman came out, and that was awesome.
Hell yeah.
And Justice League, I still have hopes for, especially since Joss Whedon came in to save the day and finish the cut, as it were.
Hopefully we'll get the Star-Crossed and Justice League Unlimited of that universe.
Hey, you never know. What else? You guys can take this panel wherever you want. You know, we're talking nerd stuff here, so. Okay, very back of the room, glasses. That's you. Yes, sir.
Okay, going back a little bit to the idea of CG with actors and like that, specifically the idea of what they do with Target. Could you imagine with that technology, they just created the kind of like the ultimate fan film, because you could theoretically recreate whoever you want and put them in a movie.
That's right. The creative thing about CG, yeah, the possibilities are endless, but it also becomes a slippery slope, which you see female celebrities coming forward, especially saying like, God, they can animate us in porn if they want to, and then our likeness, and then we're being misrepresented, and you're like, can you sue for that because it's technically not you, but it looks exactly like you, looks in cells? Like, what do you do? Like, wow, that's scary. The Vocaloid technology, it's like, well, we can now emulate the human voice so well, we don't need voice actors. I'm like, ooh. I personally don't see that happening. I think that it sounds like auto-tune to me still.
Or Wally.
Yeah, it's like, can you nail human emotion? Just like with the Uncanny Valley, you know, the eyes, they look soulless in general in CG animated characters. When they try to make it look photorealistic, they're getting better. It's like, that's a little bit scary. You know, they watch like, what's the Tom Hanks Christmas, Polar Express? It's like, well, that looks exactly like Tom Hanks, but he looks kind of dead. Looks a little creepy. Wow, or Beowulf, that was pretty cool. It's like you had this photorealistic, like, oh, that's Angelina Jolie. But not. What about 300?
How'd they do that?
300? A lot of green screen and a lot of slow motion.
Because they don't look quite real.
They don't, because there's a lot of slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. That's a Zack Snyder type thing. Yeah. Okay, yes?
What do you think, what's your thoughts on voicing Captain?
My thoughts on voicing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. My experience has been generally fun, but even our director, Tony Oliver, who directed Gurren Lagann too, he voiced Rick Hunter back in Robotech for the old school fans. Even he would be like, I don't know what's going on, I have to go back and forth with Viz and figure stuff out, because it's like, are we pronouncing this right? We've had several different pronunciations of like, Hierophant Green, Hierophant Green, I don't know, Elephant Green? It's like, Emerald Splash, sounds like a drink. Turns out it is. So I feel like going into a bar and ordering an Emerald Splash. Why not? I haven't actually seen the show yet. I've only seen what I record, which is true for most of us. We see what our part is in Japanese, so we can preview that line and then do our version in English, and then queue up the next footage and go forth that way. It looks like a lot of fun. It definitely looks like it earns its name, Bizarre. Yeah, and also it's like it's a lot darker than you think it would be. It's like, wow, they're going there. But yeah, like it feels like really, really cool to be a part of another fandom that is super duper established. It's like this big cult favorite for the past 30-something years. First I heard of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was a game on Dreamcast, but I didn't know it started out as a comic book. And yes, R2. So cute. Is he after me? Or they have an R2 Builders panel?
You should get his autograph.
I should. What would that look like?
Maybe you can trade him your autograph.
Does it literally say beep beep boop bop boop boop? Maybe that's BB-8. I don't know. Okay, yes.
Are you into Team 4-Star and Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
Team 4-Star, yeah, they're very funny. I have not seen a lot of it, but what I've seen, yeah, it's hilarious. I like free advertising. It's good stuff. It gets a little weird whenever fans want people that work on the actual Dragon Ball show to quote Team 4-Star. It's like, really? I didn't do that line. That wasn't me, you know.
Pure American badass.
But people do a lot of confusing. You know, it's like, you're Gohan. And I say, yes, I was Gohan. And then they show me Kid Gohan. It's like, no, Kid Gohan was a different person.
It's
Like if you watch
Mahoney.
Kai, that was Colleen Klingenbeard, who's here this weekend. If you watch the original Z, that was Stephanie Adolny. Or if you watch the Canadian, and Saffron Henderson in the Canadian dub. So it's like, it's definitely different people in different age groups. You know, Brad Swale is Teen Gohan in the Canadian version. So
That's right, I forgot. Ocean Dub continued to do Dragon Ball Z past the Namek saga in the UK.
Yeah, they finished all that. I don't know why we have more than one English dub. I really don't get it. Yeah.
Because I know you voiced Frederick in Fire Emblem. How much about Fire Emblem do you actually know? Did you ever play it?
I played Awakening after I signed a bunch of autographs for it and saw how huge it was. It's like, wow, there must be something to this. I'm not normally an RPG player, but yeah. You guys have pop culture questions, not voice acting questions? This is Geek Talk. We're talking about movies, games, technology.
What do you
iPhone, Android, whatever you want.
What do you think of the Fast and the Furious films, and do you think they'll end up in outer space or time travel by the 15th
then I'll watch
film?
it. Then I'll care. Fast and Furious in space, I'd watch that.
CGI?
See, we're all about like Fury Road, Mad Max, apocalyptic car stuff. Yes, we're there. But regular car stuff? I don't know. Did you watch? Oh, Baby Driver's awesome.
Stargates.
Baby Driver like almost redefines what a musical is. Because it's really just literally a big car heist, car chase movie with a soundtrack.
Everything's done in tune.
And the edits are edited to the beat of the songs. So you can't help but like bob your head and get into it, and then like the character will walk past something in the wall and it'll be the lyrics to the song that you're hearing. They don't acknowledge it. It's really cool. Yay, Baby Driver. Let's go over here. Yes. I've not seen Thor Ragnarok yet.
It's at Cinema
We need to do this, yes.
It's at Cinema Cafe today.
Well, we have to fly back today to Los Angeles, so that's on our to-do list this week. Faux show. See, it looks like Thor just kind of bumped into the Guardians of the Galaxy universe. I mean, and I'm saying that's a bad thing because the Guardians universe is fantastic, but and this one looks like this is the first time I got excited, really, really excited to watch a Thor movie. I like the other two just fine, but since they've kind of redefined it and rebooted him as more comic themed. See, Chris Hemsworth was great and hilarious in that Ghostbusters movie last year. It's like, maybe this guy needs to rethink his calling. Like, he's done all these dramatic movies, and a lot of them didn't do well outside of Thor. Yeah, he's got the comedic timing down, and it's like, yo, as soon as I saw that trailer, so there was that. It's like, oh, that's funny. I like that. I like all that. I have a friend of mine, Mark Swint. He saw it, his review was, all right, we get it, Thor Ragnarok. You're in space Australia.
Team 4-Star.
I don't know if it seems like that's an insult or a compliment, because it's like, Australia's pretty awesome. It's really nice. And those worlds look very pretty. And let's face it, Jeff Goldblum. One of those actors who can just play himself in everything.
Yeah.
It's like Christopher Walken. You know, it's like, oh, it's Jeff Goldblum playing Jeff Goldblum with a fabulous outfit and hairdo. Okay, speaking of fabulous, pink hair in the back.
Do you have a favorite genre of music, and if so, what is it?
Genre. For me, it's like any offshoot of rock. I love metal. I love heavy metal. I love Lamb of God. I love Metallica even. I think their new album's really good. But generally, I prefer older Metallica. Jack White. I love the blues-based stuff there. I love Jack White. I love Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails. Devin Townsend, he's this Canadian auteur of all kinds of prog or progressive rock.
He did metalcore too.
Metalcore, yeah. We went to see John Carpenter, the guy who directed Halloween and Escape from New York and The Thing, and he did his own scores for those movies. So he did a concert. He has his backup band, like guitar-based instrumental rock. It's really cool.
They have a screen behind him playing clips from the movie of whatever song it's from. Yeah.
That's pretty darn awesome. It's like he found his niche. He hadn't directed in a long time. The last thing he did was The Ward, which we saw on Netflix. He didn't write that, though, because he used to write and do that. And now he's going to do the score for the reboot of Halloween next year that Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back on. He's not directing it, but he will do the score. So it's like, all right, there's that. Sweet. Other music, golly, I don't know. What do you like? You like classic rock.
Yeah.
All about classic
But
rock.
I like Jack White too. You've introduced me to a lot of things that I like. My kids introduced me to Alt J. I mean, I like a lot of different things.
Yeah, you watch like Left Hand Free on the Civil War credits. It's like, I like this song. She's like bopping. It's like, what is this song? Yeah, it's a catchy song. Yeah,
A lot of the
LJ.
same stuff.
But I can't get her into the screamy stuff. It's like, you can't understand what they're saying. Like, I don't care what they're saying. They can be singing about peanut butter. I'm good with it. Peanut butter! It's like, but she's the writer. She cares about the words. I care more about, like, does the music, does the melody catch me? Does the beat, because I'm a drummer. So it's like, I like beats. I like all that stuff. But, like, yeah, I mean, I can listen, and if I look at the lyrics and then sit there and read them, it's like, yeah, I can get meaning from that. But my initial pull from music is what I'm hearing sonically.
I'm kind of like
that's the first thing that affects me more so than the lyrics. And that's not a dog against lyrics or the meaning behind them by any ways. We both like melted hearing the Disturbed cover of Sound of Silence.
Oh, yeah.
David Draymond's voice is like unreal.
It is.
I mean, he usually does that. That's their typical Disturbed stuff. But it's like, this is a great chance to show off that he can sing.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to Slash's solo albums, he had Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas. That gal can sing. You guys probably don't know that, but she can sing. It's like all these people want to do different kind of things.
Lady Gaga with what, Tony Bennett?
Tony Bennett, yeah. Lady Gaga's real passion is to do those old big band swing type standards, not the weird Marilyn Manson type look and all that stuff. She's, you know, that's like using that as a stepping stone to get to put out what she really wants to do. So
She's got a great voice.
yeah, that girl can sing. Super talented. Super duper talented. Christmas what?
She sang a Christmas song with him.
With Tony Bennett, yeah.
I have the jazz album they did together.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. And that's cool that and of course it didn't sell as much as her album used to on its own, but I give the record label props where it's like, hey, let's introduce her fan base or today's generation to Tony Bennett. It's like, oh, he's just an old man. Like, no, come on, this is great stuff.
Tony Bennett's generation to her.
That's true. It's like the older generations that would just blow off like, oh, these kids these days, that isn't music. It's like, well, listen to her and take on the songs that you grew up on and tell me that.
He's that way too. Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah. Buble.
Bubble.
Oui, oui, go home. I can do that because I'm French. Cajun French.
Yeah, Hebert.
Hebert. Not Hebert, not Herbert.
Or Sherbert.
Or Sherbert. I got a lot of that. Hey, call Sherbert. Hey, Herbert the pervert. I got all that growing up. No one could mess with your name.
Oh, they did.
They did?
My last name was Friel, so I was like, are you for real? Oh my God, really? And my girlfriend that I ran around with, her last name was Gaffer. So it was always go for it.
Go for it.
It's like, why do we do this in school? I don't understand.
Okay, yes.
My name is Megan. I have 7 letters in my name, so I always get my name spelled wrong. Most people call me Megan sometimes.
Yeah, my daughter-in-law gets that too. It's M-E-A-G-A-N. She gets
M-E-A-G-A-N.
Oh. I knew a Megan in high school.
Oh.
Like, hi, it's me, Megan.
We went to high school together.
I was on the drum line. You weren't in band, right?
No.
You were...
But I was friends with a lot of people in band.
Yeah.
We still are.
Like we met each other in high school, but
Yeah.
we're not high school sweethearts because I friend zoned myself. It's like, I thought she was hot and I wanted to ask her out, but I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with rejection. You know?
I talked to him every day in class, hoping he would ask me out. It took 30
Never
years.
did. It took me, all these years to gain confidence and have a career, and the career that gave me confidence. It's like, okay, I can finally, hey, I'm going to be in town. You want to go out?
Actually, what he did was, I had just gotten...
Did I sugarcoat that? What?
You did. I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I had moved back to Texas. My kids and their spouses were renting a house together, and they're like, Mom, come live here with us for a while. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. I could get to know my son-in-law and daughter-in-law better. So I moved to Texas. I was only there 3 weeks, and he messages me, and he's like, hey, I see you're single. I'll be in town in 2 weeks. Do not go out with anybody.
That's classy.
I'm so romantic. Hey, it worked.
Oh, it was cute.
I got her.
It was cute on our first date. He's sitting there going, so you're a writer? Mm-hmm. You live with your kids? Mm-hmm. You gonna live with them forever? No. Writers can write from LA, right? Yeah? It's like, okay. That was kiss, 5 months in, he says, if you were gonna get married again, what kind of ring would you want? And I'm telling him, and he's taking notes in his phone.
That's subtle.
So then when I go and look for the ring, I'd open up my notes. It's like, hi, do you have that? Yeah, right here. Like, awesome, thank you. Craziness. Okay, we'll do one more question because it is the top of the hour. Who has a really awesome pop culture geek related question? Oh, hi, R2. I know he's not going to have a question, but...
You can't raise your hand up.
Okay, hi.
You got that?
Okay, all right. We'll get you a really, really good question to top this off. Thank you so much for R2 and, oh wow, the Imperial R2 too. Thanks, you got good and evil represented. Okay, final question is? Rob Zombie music or Rob Zombie films? God, probably music, although I'm always interested to see what he does. I like Lords of Salem a lot, although I think my favorite movie of his is Devil's Rejects. Even though that's a sequel to House of Thousand Corpses, which I didn't really care for. His Halloween reboot was, I thought it was pretty good. Pointless, but yeah, it was alright. The sequel to that was just like, but yeah, I'm for Rob Zombie putting out stuff. The new one, 31, I have it because I ordered it in like a signed Blu-ray and all that. I did the Kickstarter. I haven't seen it though. I don't know if 31's any good or not. It is that time, folks. Thank you for coming to Geek Talk. I hope you had a good time. I have last chance autographs at 1:30 in the Artist Alley in the Bazaar area. So if you want to come say hi, we'll do pictures. I've got prints for sale. And we'll see you there. Otherwise, thanks for coming to Nekocon. Woo!